Alright, in the last video we made this texture, and it could be used as a stamp within Mudbox. So we're going to truck over to Mudbox, do a save as, and since this is in the Stencils directory, we have to make sure we have rights to that directory. So C drive, program files, Autodesk, Mudbox 2014, and we can have stencils. Right click on it and go to properties, go to security, make sure there is a user in here called everyone. Everyone has full rights. That's only to one directory on your hard drive. So, yeah. Now we can go in here. We'll call this Earth. Now if you want this a little bit leaner, and we have to put it into power 2. So image size. This is rather large, but again with stencils, you know, you can get a lot more detail. With stamps you want to make them 1024 by 1024 because you're actually using them in real time. With this, it's more of a mask, so you can get into the higher pixel dimensions. Let's destroy everything here. Okay, and let's go over to Mudbox. Grab a cube. Jump to the front here. Take off perspective. Go to orthographic. Bring in that stencil. So it's huge. That's good. That means you can go like this. S on the keyboard. And let's say we get it to about right here. Well, maybe I want it smaller. I could say use tiles. And I can get even smaller if I wanted to. So that's the advantage of using it so big and having it tileable, because there's some applications where you're going to want that texture to be a lot smaller. You know, I use the sculpt brush a lot for just about everything, so it's my go-to brush. The key to it is not get frustrated with it, because, you know, it changes so much. Half the time you're just worried about the strength attribute of it. So Q on the keyboard to turn that off, and see how high res that is. That's what I like. I like to be able to get very close to the surface. If I can get that close to the surface, it's telling me I did a good job. Now the other advantage of having a stencil is this. Unlike a brush, we can match the texture and the sculpt. Okay, so let's go back here. In this case, I'll sculpt it out. Then I'll go over to Paint Tools, go to Projection, click on it, hit OK. Then start painting. Now if you go over to Display and go to Flat Shading or Flat Lighting, you'll see that's downright perfect. Okay, that's what the visual looks like without any of the shading. It's amazing. Very crisp. And if you ever wanted to move that over to a normal map to match the actual paint and everything else, you could very easily go in here and make an extraction, or you could go over here to the paint layer, hit plus, add bump, go to this one and duplicate it, click and drag it down to bump, get rid of the old paint layer, then I can right click on it and say normal map from bump, then get rid of my old bump. Now what I have is the ability to turn this down, which is a really nice feature. So if I want to look at this without anything else, I could just go like that, turn it off. And now I step down, page down on the keyboard. Notice as I go through the levels, I still have a pretty good representation of it. And I can turn this back up and look at it. Now, unfortunately, making a normal map that way, you get a lot of noise, and that's what the problem is. You get that noise. That's why you have to turn it down. Another thing I find very annoying is this specular attributes here. So if you go to material attributes, you could choose this. It's more of a flat shaded ball with no specularity. Alright, sweet. So that is how you create a normal map based upon a texture, and how you use a stencil that's tileable. So, enjoy.